Hello, strong people. Week 2, day 1 of All-American Pro-Am prep with a little bit of America's Strongest Man sprinkled in here along the way. So, it's Monday. We're back to like a full 4-day training week. Last week was just 2 days because it was the week after a show. But we're back into it today. So, it's so hot. I'm already like dripping sweat, and I've literally only put on my sleeves. I need to get that fan turned on. But what we're doing today, it's press day as usual. So my coach and I were just talking literally like 10, 15 minutes ago or whatever. We're going to keep in the behind the neck kind of tech work to start these sessions. He wants me to do almost like a power jerk, push jerk type of thing. Just because I'm just doing a behind the neck push press right now, which to me seems like the most, like the easiest to transition into, just because it's what I know. It's just maybe I'm getting more leg drive out of the back, but I don't know that I am. So I still don't know exactly what we're going to do. Anytime I've done when I've been in a position like a push jerk or a power jerk, I don't have like the hip mobility for it. He's had me do like behind the neck squats before, or sorry, not behind the neck squats, like overhead squats where you have the bar locked out overhead and you squat down. There's something that doesn't let me go down when I'm in that position. I don't really know exactly. It's been a long time since I've done it, but I remember feeling super awkward and me struggling to hit any sort of depth with that. Now, obviously, I don't have to hit depth in this movement. That's not what it's about, but it's just that general position doesn't feel strong to me. But that's okay. It's something to work on. So I told him that I'd almost rather just fully commit to a split jerk. It feels more natural to me than those other movements. It feels more stable in general. I feel like I get less pressure on my knees doing that. But even with all of that, we may not even do it. We may just do front rack push press, just straight up push press from the rack. I think that makes sense because like I think I'm good for something. I'd have to hit at least four something on this movement. I think if I can get the rack position down and stuff, I could hit somewhere in the low to mid fours, and I just don't think I could replicate that behind the neck in the short amount of time. You know, it's a whole new technique thing for me, so I don't know. But I don't want to look too, like, obviously I have to be prepared for this because it's a new event, something I've not really done before. But I also still have the All-American Pro-Am next month, of course. So less than a month away now. So I have the bulk of my work today is going to be on log. So I got the tech work to start out. And then 2 to 5 singles at 370 on log. So we're jumping right back into it. I'm going to need something. I'm eyeing up something in the low fours for this competition. It's going to have to be that because I think there's going to be a bit of a traffic jam around the 4 mark, like 380, 390, 400. I think if you can break into that 410, 420, you're going to be in like second place. There's one dude coming who has, I believe he's pressed like 420, 430, and he's probably good for 440 on the right day. But I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't love to challenge him. But it's probably one of those unrealistic things. I just got to be smart on the day. Depending on, and obviously you can play chess too. If he jumps in early, you jump in with him, just match him the whole way because there's only 3 attempts. There's a lot of ins and outs you can play with. But obviously none of that works out if you don't lift the weight. So it's all great in theory, but it doesn't matter if you can't actually lift it. So we'll see what happens. But we're going to jump into tech work here. I am going to throw in my Olympic shoes for these movements just because they're more Olympic based. So maybe I'll feel a bit of a difference in terms of leg drive. We'll see. I don't like Olympic shoes. It could be because the ones I have are kind of old, a little bit. Size isn't quite great. But they just feel weird. But either way, we're going to try them out, see what happens. So we'll see. We're going to try a couple different things on this tech work. So stay tuned. Makes me want to pass out. Why am I so lightheaded doing that? Getting the pop a lot better now. Still lightheaded. So that went okay. Lifters definitely way better. Absolutely using lifters on this. Way more, getting way more leg drive. To the point where on some of those reps, I'm actually getting so much leg drive, the bar is, I'm kind of maxing out and dropping under it too far. So I'm like, and I can feel it putting a little bit of stress on my wrist, but I'm throwing it up and my grip, like it wants to keep going, but I've already stopped and dropped underneath it. So it's going up and then I'm like re-catching it instead of catching it right at its apex. I'm catching, like it's going up and then coming back down in my hands a little bit. So it kind of looks like my elbows are like locking and unlocking, but that's just me catching it once I'm in the split position. Leg drive feels good. It's that position once I catch feels just unstable. It doesn't feel unstable in the legs. It feels unstable in the hands, shoulders, everywhere. That feels just a little odd because when I press, I'm very much, when when I press, I always press in this position, lock out, and then come forward. So like staying behind my neck the whole time is weird for me. It feels off. It's just how it is. So I don't know. I'm very unsure about going behind the neck. I feel like I can get more leg drive into it, but I don't feel like I can finish the lift in that position with my triceps. It's very much a throw and a catch position, like a circus dumbbell. But it just feels. I'm being impatient, yes, but I also have to be because the show is not that far out. Teaching yourself. Obviously, I have a coach, but like while I'm in here, I'm by myself. So trying to teach myself split jerk. Not easy. And I don't know if it's a viable option this close to the show. Because I also need to get used to front rack position with a barbell and push pressing with just that. Because it is a different thing. There is some whip to this. Very, very little. I'm also curious what kind of bar they're going to use at the show. Because generally speaking, an Olympic bar has some whip to it. Not like a deadlift bar, but more than a power bar, less than a deadlift bar. So somewhere in the middle. So it allows you to get that kind of, as you come down, it bends down and then it goes up. So you use the momentum. There's a little bit to the power bar. It's not really noticeable at this weight. Probably not up until 3, low 3s, mid 3s. And it's pretty slight. So I was able to use it a little bit there in that last, like, a couple sets, I think. I felt the whip a little bit more. I was not using it very well before, but I think I'm getting a little bit better at it, timing it out. So they're using a power bar at Nationals, and it's the same event. So I'm guessing it's going to be a power bar at the Pro-Am 2, which is a little bit odd. But it's not going to be like a game changer. Like the strongest person's still going to win, which is going to be Lucas Hatton. Quite literally the best strongman in the world at this lift. And arguably the circus dumbbell, even though he doesn't hold the record. That's in the show too. So those two events I can pretty much chalk up to at least second place. Or at the best second place, unless absolute catastrophe strikes. So, but it's America's Strongest Man. They're all monsters. So I'm just going to do the best I can do at this show. But talk less, lift more, moving on to log. That was okay. Something that I am noticing, all of those reps, they looked pretty similar for the most part. There's two things I want to talk about here. I guess we'll start with good first. The behind the back pressing to start off the day, it really feels like it's waking my legs up. I just feel more explosive. The legs feel more connected to the press. I haven't felt that way on log in a little while. The leg drive felt really good today. So I think whether or not we continue with the behind the back stuff, I almost think about keeping some variation of that in. I know there's vertical jumps programmed in there, and I love doing those. I want to train that explosiveness a little bit more. Thought about stacking up some sandbags to do some box jumps or something, just because I'm not good at jumping. If I can get better at jumping, I think I will be better at push pressing, better at using my leg drive. And just overall leg strength needs to go up. So, but I'm liking how leg drive is feeling after doing the behind the back stuff. Excuse me. Oh, I drank a liquid IV today. I'm gonna keep that in. I definitely need to be doing that while it's this hot out here. It makes so much sense too. But kind of the bad, and I'm going to call it bad. I am noticing that I cannot lean back like I used to be able to pre-low back injury. Whenever I tweaked it there a few months back, I don't feel like I can lean back. I don't think I have the same thoracic mobility there anymore. So it kind of makes sense given what happened. Like my vertebrae shifted outward like 6 millimeters or whatever. So I'm assuming that's causing it. But it's definitely making me press more vertically rather than lean back and kind of press through and then put my head through. It's all kind of coming together at the same time. But that could just be because I'm warming up with behind the neck press, and there your head's through like right away because it's behind your head's in front of the bar. It could be that. But we're going to find out right now because I still have strict press to do, which is, I believe it's 3x3, 5x3. I think 3x3, but I just watched this fly get caught in a spider web. It's like Animal Planet in here. The thing's going crazy. Spider's actually running. Oh, there it goes. Is that might be a bee or a wasp or something, actually. I don't know. I'm going to check that out here in a second. But I got strict press next. I think it's 3x3. I have a number in mind, but after all the other pressing I've done today, and with how my back feels, it feels a little bit uncomfortable in the low back. Not like pain. I think it's just, I was kind of stiff coming in here today anyway. It could be just that, but we'll see. I don't know really what to expect for strict press because I haven't done it in quite a while. So, plus I want to make sure my shoulder's fine. Nothing hurt today, but strict press a couple weeks back before regionals, we had to cut it out because it was causing me pain. So I'm going to strip this back down to like 200 pounds or 240 probably, just to see how that feels, and then we'll kind of work out from there. So. Every time I do these, I can't tell if you can see me. Oh, all right, this is gonna be quick. So I'm gonna do a set and then we'll chat a little bit, but I'm gonna try to make this quick. Oh. Oh God. 3 sets of 7 and 1 AMRAP. I'm cooked. My body's tired. I guess there's like a few things I want to talk about, but I'll try to make it kind of quick because I want to be done. Been out here for longer than I usually am. First of all, I put this up in a little bun because I lost a bunch of beard hair after that first log. it's all laying right there. So I'm gonna have to trim that up probably. That sucks. It happens when I like pinch to roll, and that's why I almost botched the clean on that one, because it ripped out so much hair. It hurt, and I wasn't expecting it. So, but there's that. I think I took maybe a little bit too long warming up, like the behind the neck technique stuff. I think 1 or 2 good sets of that would be enough to benefit the leg drive. I didn't anticipate this before. I'm doing the tech work on that to be better at that movement. I didn't think it would have carryover into my leg drive for other pressing movements. I'm really happy about that though. I can tell a difference. My legs feel awake. I feel like I'm learning how to use them. I feel like before, I was using leg drive, of course, but it just was not clicking all the time. So I've noticed both the last 2 weeks that there's been a difference. So I'm going to let my coach know about that and see. That may stay in the program. I don't want to say indefinitely, but I like that a lot. Plus, it's a good way. Once I get better at it, I could use that as an overload too. In theory, I should be able to move more weight on that once I get proficient in the movement. That's just how it goes. But we'll see. I feel like there's going to be something else I was going to say, but I'll figure it out. Oh, my hands hurt. My hands are tired. I think that was too many. A couple things on strict press. The number was definitely down compared to a normal strict press, but I got to remember that before, strict press was like my first movement of the day, and I was putting everything into that. So the numbers were higher because I was almost going too hard on that and not focusing enough on the push press movements after. So that's another thing. I talked to my coach about moving strict press after push press, and I think that's been a major difference so far. Especially putting like a push press based warm up in, I feel like my legs are more awake, and my positioning feels better. Not perfect on the lockout. I still could lean back a little bit more, wait to get my head through. I'm rushing it a little bit. So that's why I'm stalling out there as my triceps kick in because of that. I need to stay lean back a little bit more. But that's going to happen switching from axle to log. On axle, the balance is a little bit different. You don't have to lean back as much. I don't feel as comfortable leaning back as much. So after just having come off something like that, it's going to be a little bit of an adjustment to get that lean back, the proper positioning to finish the rep. But strict press felt good. No shoulder irritation. It was obviously lighter than what I normally would be able to do, but like I said, it's the third exercise. But there's no pain. That's the biggest thing. So I'm ecstatic about that because I was a little worried about that one. Oh. I think this is set 3. I definitely need like a massage gun on my back or cracked or something. It's just feels a little finicky. Not like a bad way, just like a you need kind of fixed a little bit type of way. So, oh God. That liquid IV is a lifesaver. I'm really thirsty now. I drank it all earlier, but I should bring more water out too with me just in case. But I'm kind of forcing myself to sip on that throughout. And it made a big difference in my opinion. So I don't feel I don't feel dead, and I've been out here longer than what I normally would be, so that's a win. Also, I feel like I gotta mention it. Like Thor pulled 505 this weekend. Insanity. Just the more impressive thing, and why I believe he can actually do 510 in 6 weeks. 6 weeks is kind of a weird time. You can't like properly get stronger in that time. You can't like re-peak for something like that. When you pull heavy back to back like that, there's got to be some sort of something in the middle. I'm not a coach, so it'd be really tough for me to say, but I'd imagine a lighter week or two, maybe one heavy pull, heavy-ish, and then deload again and go for it. And I don't know. I'm a little bit doubtful of being able. I am doubtful of him being able to pull, of anybody being able to pull. And I say anybody as if anybody else in the world could come close to doing this. He's the only one. If there's anybody able to do what he's about to try to do, it's going to be him. Pull 505, 6 weeks later, pull 510. Back-to-back pulls that big that nobody's ever done before. That might be the peak. That might be it. Like that, those two things back together like that. That's if he does it, I don't even know. Like undoubtedly the deadlift king. Don't get me wrong, Eddie smashed the record. The fact that he blew it away by that much is insane. Like that, and then Thor's deadlift, if he does this, I mean, the 505 is still up there, but if he does the 510, that might be on the same level as Eddie's breaking the 500 kg barrier. But, what was I going to say? Oh, crap. I don't know. The fact that Thor changed his deadlift approach after the first pull, that is insane. That's why I think he may have an opportunity to do this, because he's going to be able to do his proper setup at this at Giants Live. Everything's going to be a little bit better. He did that at like really late at night over there. So this is going to be much more opportune timing. But I was going to say something else. Oh, the fact that Eddie broke the record by so much that day kind of ruined people's perspectives on the matter. I'll talk about this after I do this last set. The fact that Eddie beat the record by so much in a day kind of ruined people's perspective, because they think that every record being broken should be like that, which doesn't make any sense. Those are the people that don't lift that think that. When you approach that threshold, like the top 0.0000001% of the human population that can do this, it's just not possible to break things. Eddie quite literally did what was thought to be impossible. So I don't see that ever being the case again. There will never be someone that takes the record from like 505 to 540 or 550. It's just impossible. At least not in my lifetime. And people that don't understand that, you're kind of stupid. Like, relate it to any other record in the world. Like, whatever, I don't know much about other sports in terms of but I think Olympics would be a good one to bring up. Like, if you beat like the 100 meter sprint record by like 4 seconds, that doesn't happen. It's beat by probably what? Half a second at a time, if it's broken. I don't know the numbers, but it would be like blowing the sprint record out of the water. Or like, I don't know what the fastest marathon time is, but like beating that by half an hour. Like, that doesn't happen. It's not really feasible. I say that, but Eddie did that in a way, so I don't know. But records are going to be broken by a kilogram at a time. The fact that he did it by 4 kilograms, and I'm going to say 501 was pulled, but whatever. People disagree, but I think The fact that he even did it by 4 kilograms is mind blowing. And the fact that he's going to try to do it by another 5 doesn't make any sense. But I've talked too much already. But that's it. I'm done video's done for the day. I need to go shower and eat. It's like 9 o'clock at night. Been out here for over 3 hours. That's terrible. So until next time, go out, get strong, stay strong, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.